Welcome to Shorty's SuperCoach. What is going on, guys? It's been a little while, probably 4 or 5 days since I've uploaded. Apologies about that, but fuck, it's been busy. I've started my new job, just long weekend vibes. Things have been pretty busy. Posting on Saturday afternoon, very unusual for Shorty. You're probably in the depths of hottest 100 beverages, which I will be very shortly, but I thought, I wanted to pump out a video last night, didn't get time. I've just been, like I said, started a new job, went real well. Absolutely stoked with it. Just thought I'd better get a video out there because it's been a hot minute, and I thought Shorty's going to be pretty scratchy tomorrow. Good first day. Nice to get those feels out of the way, but fuck, I was nervous. It's a strange feeling. You don't have those first day vibes all too often, and I had the worst sleep. You know when you haven't had sleep and you got a bit on the next day, there's a bit on your mind, a few nerves. Fuck, I woke up at like 12:30, 4 o'clock, 5:10. I was like, oh, God. And then just broken sleep, so I'm fucking tired. But it was a good day. And today should be a good day too. I mean, it's bloody hot. Got a bottle of Malibu there ready to rock and roll. Got 4 cheeky guava cruisers as well ready to rock and roll. So there's plenty to get excited about. But yeah, just thought what a time. I'll just smash a little video out, talk about the Swans. And would love to hear your thoughts on the hottest 100. I do not know much about the countdown. I'm no fucking Triple J nerd. I don't know much about it, but I'm there for the vibes. I will give you my 2 tips, and I'm not going out on a limb. I don't know much about it, so don't judge me, but I would love to hear where you think is going to sort of fall in those top 5. Surely this tune just goes off. I mean, I don't even know if you can hear this coming through, but surely this has got to be number 1. Absolute fucking hell. If that doesn't get you off the couch, nothing will. Just like Hutto said once upon a time. And maybe just this is a tune as well. Good tune. So surely they're right up there, but look, the countdown's on. I'm not sure if the microphone could pick it up. There's a few tunes playing in the other room. We're up to about number 80 or somewhere around there. Haven't known a song yet, so that sort of explains Shorty's musical knowledge. Pretty basic guy, but let me know what you think is going to be right up there in the countdown, and we'll see if you're right. We'll see if you're right in the comments. Now, let's talk some SuperCoach. This will be time-stamped as always. Again, apologies for a bit of a later delay in the uploading stakes, but I have been posting a little bit more on TikTok as well. Don't get angry at me. It's just so bloody easy. It's just so easy. So if you want to follow me on there, feel free. Shorty SuperCoach TikTok, that'd be fantastic. But I will not be slowing down on the YouTube stuff. Life has got busy. But it's just so damn easy just doing a 50-second video and you upload it so quick. So don't worry. I'm not drifting more into that world than this world. But I just thought I'd give it a shout out. Chad Warner. Let's talk. Amazing grand final, really stood up, and he's in that sort of price range with your Tom Greens, your Luke Davies Uniacs, and came on in leaps and bounds last year, and look at that, prelim final was great. Geelong, he's probably the clearly the best operator there. Also was it Chappie who said about moving the video icon? I thought about moving it to the bottom left, but then I thought, well, it'd probably ruin some of the stats as well. So I'm working on it, mate, but I do appreciate the feedback. If you got any thoughts on what I could do better visually, hopefully the audio is going slightly better. Always keen to hear your feedback. But look, Warner was outstanding, particularly early. He probably had a bit of a quiet patch from rounds 10 through to 15 and then really hit back, and then again sort of went quiet later in the season. So, he was a young fella breaking out, but also taking on a fair bit of a load for, a 21-year-old. But he'll be better for the run, and he's a definite chance to take his average beyond 100. I think he will. But I'm not too interested in selecting him. He's just sort of... It's a bit awkward because at this price point, you probably need a guy that's going to take his 96 average to 108, something like that. And that's not to say he couldn't, but I just prefer others, and it comes with a bit of risk. You've got to be really confident that a guy's going to take his game to that next level in terms of the premium stakes. But if you think he's going to throw in more games like the grand final, then he could definitely be a great option. Loves a goal from 50, works hard, sort of taking the mantle from Parker, and Kennedy's definitely passed that on. So sort of the next wave of mids for the Swans. Now, another one of those guys is Keller Mills, and I won't spend too much time on him because I'm a big fan and there's not too much to say. You got to pay a price, but you know what you're getting. He's had a great couple of years. Last year went even better. I think he started the year a little bit slow from memory. Oh, not quite. Okay, so that was a lie. But how about that? The 200 against the Hawks. That's crazy. There's not too many blokes that can say they had a 200 in their career. But yeah, look, he's outstanding. He's consistent. He is able to find a score in different ways, whether it be tackles. Like, he doesn't always need to be racking up 30 plus, but he just finds a way to score. So he's definitely a bloke that you can select in your midfield. And from what I'm gauging, a bit point of difference. So I think you're going to get 110 minimum. I'd be guessing more about 115. And he's going to be point of difference for you. So if you're a fan of Keller Mills and he floats your boat, you might be getting a bit of a point of difference on one of your mates. Now, like the title suggests, a bargain down back. I haven't seen him in too many teams, and he'll have to be working pretty hard to get in the Swans lineup. But I think Aaron Francis could be a bit of a bargain down back. Now, I think he's priced around that 180. Never, ever found it at the Bombers consistently. Look at these numbers from a games per season. Just shocking. Just never found it. The only time he averaged anything half decent, it was only off 5 games. But and it was basically off these 3 here. Like, he ended the season, well that year. But at this price, you've got to consider him. You have to consider him. Okay, his body's not so great, but we do have a shitload of trades to deal with, so I think we can take a few more risks in this department. Now, if he's best 22, I reckon you've got to go with him. He's just got that feeling to me that if he does play halfback, he's going to be sort of your third tall, capable of intercepting, get a few cheap kicks. I can see him averaging 75 real comfortably. He's been trialled as a forward. I don't see the Swans doing that. They've got a really good record, Sydney, of recycling players and getting the best out of them. So I know Francis has had issues with the body, some issues off field as well. So I really hope he makes it, because talented player, drafted high, hasn't fulfilled it yet. But I just think going up to Sydney just takes the pressure off a bit. You're not in the heartland of AFL footy. I've got a feeling that he's going to play some footy this year. Whether it's at the start of the year, I'm not too sure. I'm not even sure where his body's at the moment. You guys might know better than me. But I can see him being a best 22 footballer for the Swans. Where it is, when it is, another question. But he's definitely got to be a big watch for the pre-season, I reckon. Now moving on to an old friend of mine, Isaac Heeney, and he fooled me again last year. He fooled me again. I was screaming that he's finally going to be that midfielder we talked about. In early days, it was going to be. And I've been with this bloke for so many years. And then last year, I just, the way it panned out, I didn't start him. And look at the way the bastard started the year. 141, 140, 88, 131. Oh, God. And from memory, he was getting a bit more centre bounce early days. And then once again, found himself as that forward role. I just think he's so impacted by whether Franklin's there or how they shape up. Sam Reid, it frustrates me to death, because I know he's a good forward, but fuck, if you can't tell me he's going to be a fantastic midfielder who spends some time forward, then I've got no idea. Because I definitely think he should play more midfield than forward, and still pinch hit forward sometimes more than others. But the percentages have to be flipped. Anyway, rant over. Let's take a look at... So my guess is that Heeney had a fair bit of midfield time early and then it drifted, and that is right. So plenty in round 1, and that was the talk pre-season, and he got it, busted out of 140, and then it's sort of pinch hitting, 20% centre bounce, not the worst. Even round 7, 33%. How'd he go in round 7? Tunned up. But then it really falls away. Really falls away. He goes from 50% in round 10, which he scored a 94, to then not having a centre bounce for a long, long time. And then even in the latter stages, just occasional. That's not what we wanted. So, and he still, he still had an ability to score some really good stuff. But like we saw in the grand final and other games, you can go cold in the forward line. And he had a shocking final series. He won't be happy with that. So, look, he's a bloke that I'm just putting an absolute line through. He's priced at 101 and had a good year. You know, it was a good year. I shouldn't bag him out too much. It's his best averaging year, but I wouldn't go near him. I just think you're paying absolute top dollar. I just think he needs to have more midfield time. I've been banging on about that for ages, and you know, he still manages to score as a forward with some time up on the ball, but just makes me nervous. You know, he's just getting cold down there, and he's a high impact player. Like, he doesn't need a stack of the ball to score, but I'd just rather go elsewhere. And I think most of you guys are. I haven't seen him in a stack of teams, so I think most of you guys agree. But yeah, probably for a Sydney team that made the granny and most are expecting a big response, not too much interest from a SuperCoach point of view, which is a bit strange. You know, Jake Lloyd's probably gone by the wayside. Rowbottom's got improvement but priced awkwardly. Braden Campbell, you know, I think he'll be a star, but you know, nothing telling us it's going to be now. You know, even Nick Blake, he had like a mini breakout but priced awkward. So Luke Parker is consistent as ever, but you know, probably not the top end mid. So yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it develops over the off season, whether anyone sort of pops their head up. But at the moment, doesn't really seem like it. So I know there's a few Swans fans out there, so let me know your thoughts, whether it be Hottest 100 or Sydney SuperCoach. Would love to hear it. So yeah, I'm probably going to pop in the shower and then crack a little drink and get stuck into it. So I hope you have a good day. Hope the long weekend has treated you nicely. If you did, get a little Friday day off as well to make it a 4-banger day off. Pretty handy stuff. But yeah, hope you're well out there. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.